Now, this conversation about the safety of Tylenol, acetaminophen, as well as vaccines is all centered around the issue of autism. Now, according to the CDC and the group Autism Speaks, 1 in 31 children here in the U.S. has been diagnosed with being on the autism spectrum. There are many theories about what is leading to the rise in these cases, but what does the science say?
I think there's this perception that it is so much more prevalent and therefore there must be something driving it. And I'm not saying that there hasn't been an increase in cases, but I think it's a very difficult thing to really get an accurate handle on because, decades ago, it was often under-recognized. But now pediatricians are screening kids at age 1. And there are checkpoints where, they are really looking and examining and picking these cases up early because we know that early intervention can go a long way. So I think that is one shift. There are other factors though. We know that there are many genes that are implicated. So there is likely a strong genetic component. There could be some environmental factors as well. But I don't necessarily think you can drill it down to one exposure. And I don't necessarily think that every case of autism is exactly the same. There are many different medical problems that can fall under one umbrella term, but they can look very different. And that's why they say it's a spectrum.
Are doctors getting closer, and researchers as well, are they getting closer to understanding this very complex condition of autism?
I think a lot of really smart, talented scientists have been working on this question and this problem for a very long time. I think it's complex because there could be multiple different causes. And there are many genes that have been implicated, but there's many children with autism that have done all that genetic testing and nothing turns up as a cause or a reason. But I think, we have to be a little bit more critical with our thinking and recognize that cherry picking certain studies that, feed one narrative isn't the way science should be conducted. And often if something's too good to be true, like finding the answer so easily and being able to point our finger at a drug like Tylenol just because it's used so frequently, for fever and pain management, I think anything that seems too good to be true probably is, right? Biology is much more complex than that. And I do hope we get more answers. And I think it's good that we're asking questions, but we shouldn't just be rehashing old data and coming out with, salacious statements that are not rooted in any sort of new, breakthrough or new update in the science.
Dr. Lucky Sakron, thank you so much for joining us.